Welcome back to Ride JBI. This is JB. Today we finished a suspension revalve on this 2022 Yamaha YZ450 KYB suspension. This suspension was revalved to our JBI suspension motocross spec. These are the very popular and well-liked KYB SSS forks. I consider these the Gen 2 of these forks. In stock form, they work really well, and they are well received by many and most riders. When given a very competitively performing stock setup, such as these KYB forks, it's really important when you go ahead and start modifying these, that when you do that, you only improve the forks and you don't improve one area at the expense of another area. And that can be really challenging to do when you already have such a high level performing fork. It's a lot to say. Anyhow, these forks originally came out in 2006 on the Yamaha YZ and YZF models. So Ride JBI has had many years of testing, tuning, and developing these KYB forks. When it comes to modifying these, we have found that the best approach is really fine tuning and polishing what is there. So in other words, taking this already good performing fork and making it perform even better. And you do that with some just well-placed mods, nothing too crazy in terms of the valving. And by doing that, it really gets the extra little bit out of these forks. Specifically by that, I mean a little pressure on the small to medium bumps, and definitely some better bottoming resistance for the big hits and high impacts. Ride JBI has also tested, tuned, and developed many other suspension settings for this KYB suspension and Yamaha YZ and YZF models. We have suspension settings for all the different types of off-road riding, motocross, supercross, arena cross, and freestyle motocross. Now these forks also feature our newest JBI Perch 3.0 titanium. That is this piece right here. Here at the very end, we have the original OEM spring seat. This is made out of plastic. Now, as you can see, the holes are really big. The way it functions is this spring seat sits on top of our spring, which sits about right here inside of the fork. And as the fork compresses down, so does our spring seat. And at the end of the fork travel, starting in this area, the spring seat is going to engage some oil and help slow the fork down. We call this additional compression resistance, AKA bottoming resistance. As you can see, the holes are pretty big, so a lot of oil can flow through this before it starts slowing down the fork a lot or providing a good amount of damping resistance. Compared to the Perch, we have much smaller holes. I'll show you the back of them on the 2.0. And the holes can also flex open. That's what the shims are for, meaning it's a pressure sensitive valve instead of a fixed valve like that one. The Perch was first introduced in 2013. The red one you're looking at right here is the Perch 2.0. We've made some revisions over the years. And then 4 years ago, I came up with the idea about having a one-piece design where we can integrate our shims or our valve pedals, whatever you want to call them, into the Perch body themselves. I wanted to do this for a few reasons: reduce the number of pieces that make up the component, and also have a sleeker design, and also have a larger change of area. What I mean by that is the amount of area that this oil can flow, the amount of volume that can flow through here is largely based on how much area we have. Now what's neat is in the center of our Perch, there's a small slit. These will act like doors and they will spread open towards the camera, creating more area for the oil to flow through when it's under high pressure. That is the big distinction of the Perch versus any other spring seat that's on the market. It's pressure sensitive, and the amount of area for oil to flow through is based on pressure. This is important because when you have a spring seat that's very restrictive, if it's too restrictive when it engages the oil, then it slows down the fork too much and it gets to be too harsh. Whereas the Perch can do a great job of slowing the fork down a lot, but also it can blow off any excess pressure because again, the reeds will flex open under high pressure and relieve it from being too stiff for the rider when it does engage the oil. So simply put, the JBI Pro Perch still allows you to have a very smooth feeling fork while also giving you some very strong bottoming performance compared to the stalker. We have a product page up on Ride JBI, so you can see all the details about the new JBI Pro Perch 3.0. We'll be doing a lot more media and marketing on it, just explaining the product for the next couple months or so. We're really excited about this. It took me 4 years of development time to get to what you see here today, and I'm really excited to be sharing this product with everybody else. All JBI suspension services and parts can be found at ridejbi.com.